First Watch Now.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler. First Watch on 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your Sheriff's Office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me is Carol Kappas, Public Information Officer with the Sheriff's Office, and Sheriff Mark Daniels. Good morning.
Good morning, Cochise County.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, it was cold this week, wasn't it?
Oh, my.
Yeah.
It's cold. Yes, there's something about getting up and it's still dark and it's cold. I tell you, this is not the Arizona weather that we expect.
People don't usually own coats or real, winter weather gear in this part of the neighborhoods.
What you're saying is we don't know how to dress, and that's a proper statement.
That is true. I mean, we don't. This is a kind of cold that we're not used to.
As long as the sun's out in the blue sky, it can't be cold here. It's Arizona.
Right.
Well, let's get to wrestling. Where are we at with wrestling now?
Well, tomorrow we take 6 girls to sectionals, which is the pre-state tournament. That's going to be up at Flowing Wells High School, so they'll be up there. So these 6 girls, there's 30 teams in the sectionals for girls. A lot of teams. Top 4 girls move on to state. So we'll see what happens. We got one girl, Asia General, who was runner-up in state last year at 120 pounds. She's in a very tough weight class this year. And she'll be competing, and a few other ones that, hey, we're going to go out there, we're going to give it our best. And but I tell you, they've had a great season, the girls' team. And it's a new sport for Buena, the girls wrestling, and they're doing really well.
Girls rock.
They do. Let me tell you, they work hard. Don't underestimate a girl. It's amazing how hard they work and what they've learned as wrestlers. And I'll just say that to any female out there that's in high school, if you want to wrestle, Collegiate is looking for girl wrestlers all over the country. So, good sport to get into right now.
It is. And so some of the other things that you've been working on in addition to girls wrestling are scams. You personally, at the office, got a letter where somebody wanted to give you $7,700.
Yeah, I got this envelope, priority mail, U.S. mail. I opened it up in my inbox earlier in the week, and there's a check in there addressed to me for over $7,000. And there was no cover letter. Everything else was legit. I mean, it looked real. Everything was there. And I look, and usually I get checks, but it's usually for our civil, which I turn. They don't even reach my desk. They go right into a civil account based on processing fees and stuff. But this was I asked Veronica, my assistant. I said, Veronica, what is this? And she goes, I don't know. So we ran it through. We had civil look at it. The deputy that runs our civil division took a look at it, and it's a fraud. It was a fraud check, but you would never know that. And I asked our folks that look into these checks all the time, what they want you to do is cash the check, and a person gets a check, you cash it, you deposit it, if you can account for it. You should know what you're putting in your account, though. I knew I didn't recognize the companies out of Massachusetts, but what happens is you cash it, it comes back bad, but it goes back to the person that issued the check, so they have all your information. That's how they're getting your information, because they get notified. And so it's just another scam to get into your accounts. And
it was a real business, and the real routing number for the business on the check, but it was a real business name.
Yes.
But somebody else a distance away had kind of spoofed that. I mean, I know that you can spoof the phone calls, but numbers. I didn't know you could just do the entire thing, but apparently you can.
They did. I mean, if you just look at that and you look up the business, it's all legit.
Mm-hmm.
Truly legit. And that's first I thought this was something through our civil process where they wanted paper served or we did an execution, which is a process we do in the sheriff's office on debts. So that's what I thought, because we see the checks in that large amount. That's why I gave it right back to civil. And but didn't say sheriff, just Mark Daniels. But long story short is it was a complete scam. And we contacted the owner of the business and said, yeah, there's 10 different people who have contacted her on this scam where they've got checks under her behalf.
Well, the jail is starting to become a hot topic at the sheriff's office, so let's let people know where we are with our jail.
Well, obviously, I don't think it's any secret in this community, and we don't want it to be a secret. We want to be very transparent with it. Is our jail has lived twice its lifespan, 40 years old. So we're in the process based on recommendations to rebuild a new jail. We know that's forthcoming. So what do we do in the meantime? The first thing we got to do is find a place to house our male adult population. Working with the Pinal County Sheriff's Office and the Department of Corrections, Pinal County is the immediate fix, which we'll purchase 150 beds from them, and then we'll transport the male population up there. The females will be going into the old juvenile center here over by Colonial del Salud. We'll house all our female inmates over there, and then our satellite jails in Sierra Vista and Wilcox will stay open, and that will be the processing stations. So I'll give you a scenario. Male gets arrested for a crime. In 24 hours, he sees a judge. The judge says, no, we're going to hold you on bond, or we're going to hold you. Then at that time, that person will be transported to Pinal County through our transportation team. And I'll just put this out there. We're not laying anybody out, laying anybody off. That's not an intent. We need out every employee we have, especially if we're going to do transports like we're doing. Having 3 facilities, we're still with the female facility, then the 2 satellite jails. So again, it's going to be a challenge for the next couple of years, no doubt about it, until we can get some resolution to a new facility being built. Now, I want to give a shout out to Gail Griffin. She has dropped a bill at the state for the state to help us build the new jail. So thank you, Gail, for doing that, and thanks for all the support you give to the Sheriff's Office.
And it's going to take a little bit of time. It's not going to happen overnight, but the plan's are already in place as far as bird's eye view of what it's going to look like, where it's going to be located, how it's going to be so essential to all of the functions that we are going to have in now and in the future. So it's going to be, I guess, the best choice possible at this time, because are you going to just keep sinking money into the old jail? That was maybe one of the questions. Why don't you take the funding that you have and just put it back in the jail and build it out? Why would you do that? It's just end of life is what it is.
It is, and for the last year, we actually had experts come in, take a look at our facility for their both engineers and experts, and nobody's saying, let's just rehab the old one. That's not even the thought on the table based on industry standards and mandates. So we know we're going forward with a new facility. And I will say this. I mean, one of the ideas at the county level through the court system is to make where we're going to put the old jail, or the new jail, which would be next to the old jail, is a criminal justice center where all the courts are stationed there, superior courts. And you'll have, like I said, a one-stop shop for the criminal justice system, kind of what we did on Colonial del Salud. We got probation, juvenile, sheriff's office, justice courts. You go there and it's all criminal justice driven. So very similar scenario in Bisbee at the sheriff's office down there. So that's adding cost. It's $92 million just to build the jail. So anything above $92 million, folks, when you hear that, that is a result of adding the criminal justice center on there. And that's in discussion too. Do we do it all at one time when it comes to building the courts? That's a discussion outside of my lane, but our lane is the jail, which is $92 million.
And so speaking of one-stop shopping, there's money coming in to Cochise County, to the Sheriff's Office specifically. So some of that funding is a one-stop shop with, and you've talked about it before, but just touch on it again, for the Intel Center and the Joint, Operations Center.
Right. Over the last year, with the surge of the border, this is kind of a border update. We've been working with the state legislative folks, Gail Griffin, Becky Knight when she was in office, and Senator Gowan, and folks from both the House side, Senate side, to include Governor Ducey. As a result of that, we've been awarded and gifted, if you want to call it such, just under $13 million for more staffing, which is a criminal interdiction team, more equipment, more vehicles to replace some of our older vehicles, some drones, overtime, expense costs for our jail, future overtimes for the next 4 years. I mean, just they went above and beyond. The state did, the state of Arizona and the governor, and I thank them all for that. So, and this is advanced funding. It's not an in-kind match. They're not asking the citizens of Cochise County to do anything on this. Here's just under $13 million to help keep you safe here in Cochise County. So that goes in front of the Board of Supervisors next Tuesday. We're excited about that. I mean, you got to figure my budget's about $18 million, and we just brought in almost $13 million, just under, it's kind of a gift. What is? It's a gift from the state of Arizona to help us with our challenges down here. Otherwise, the citizens of Cochise County is going to have to pay the debt. So again, we're really excited for those agreements and those relationships we have with the state. So that goes in front of the Board of Supervisors Tuesday at 10 o'clock.
And that money, everybody really needs to understand, that money is to create new programs and processes for safety measures and to add to our current staffing. That should not be anticipated to be any type of replacement into your current budget. So, for example, if anyone says you're getting 13 million, why do you need 17 million? I mean, do you know what I mean? So, want to make sure that people understand that the purpose of that funding is to create and implement new processes and procedures, and have equipment purchases, and have fund personnel, again, completely 100% for 4 years, not coming out of your budget, because you need every bit of your budget to continue operations as we have now.
That's correct. Thanks for that clarification, Carol, because you're right. It supplements our current operation. It really does. Expenses that we're enduring because of the border situations, it helps replace those funds. Also, it helps us build upon programs that we're already doing. And our success comes through, and I'll say it again on Tuesday, comes through the collective efforts of state, federal, I'm talking about our agents at CBP that we work with down here, our other federal agents, to include our locals, working together for a common cause. That's the citizens. It really is to enhance their quality of life and keep them safe. And having these extra funds that normally we wouldn't have, otherwise we'd have to go back to the board. Where we're at this year with 92% in the first 5 months expended out of our overtime budget, $830,000 in the first 6 months just for jail border-related costs. I mean, these are exorbitant expenses that we did not count on, that now the state's come up, okay, we'll take care of that, Sheriff. And not just for this year, but for the next 4 years. So, I mean, if we turn a blind eye on that, or we turn our heads on that and say we don't want it, wow. I mean, that would be a tragic decision. So we're excited for it. I hope there's not a hindrance on this, but it is. It's just us working hard with our state partners to get some funding down here to the citizens of Cochise County.
And the citizens of Cochise County can take part in some meetings that are coming up next month in Benson, Sunsites, and Palominas.
We just kicked one off last Saturday. Brian McIntyre, our county attorney, Border Patrol leadership, some staff from the Sheriff's Office. We met with Winter Haven, about 200 folks over at Winter Haven, and some virtual folks assigned in, and spoke about the transparency of the border. What is your Cochise County Sheriff's Office doing to protect you here in Cochise County? What are the facts versus the myths? What's your governor doing here in Cochise County to help you? Just talked about a little bit about that. What is your state doing? And just sharing what we're doing so people have a direct information from us. It bothers me when I hear stuff that nothing's being done. Why aren't we doing this? What's going on with the border patrols there? They can tell you what's going on in their lands, what's going on with the physical barrier. There are some updates on that all the way through. So this will be a formative 2-hour meeting. We're having 3 of them. First one's in Palominas, then we're going to Sunsites.
Benson,
then Sunsites, and we're doing these at high schools. And Carol, you want to give the information out?
Yeah, so it's going to be next week. It's going to be the 9th is going to be Palominas. The 10th is going to be in Benson. The 11th is going to be in Sunsites. They start at 6 o'clock. We are cutting it off at 8 o'clock. So want to make sure that people are invited to come. We will have Facebook Live running on these, and then we are also working on a type of a Zoom dial-in thing, probably through Teams, where if you don't have access to any social media, that you should be able to still dial in and hear what's going on and participate in the meeting. Whether it's, asking a question, again, with a 2-hour time period, depending on the number of people we have there, it might get a little bit tight as far as time for asking questions, but it's a really good way to share information, again, through local, state, and federal participants of your public safety agencies to you, the communities. So we're going to put a lot of that information out, ways that you can participate if you can't physically be there, ways that you can join in and you can hear what's going on your border.
And these are going to be at high schools?
Correct.
And you want to give the high schools we're going to be at?
Palominas is going to be the Palominas
the school gym.
Yeah, the school gym. Palominas School Gym. And then it's going to be the Benson High School. It's going to be their multi-purpose room / cafeteria. And then Sunsites is going to be at the Pierce. That Sunsites area, Sunsites Pierce, is going to be at the Pierce School. So that's going to be in their gym. So again, we'll have addresses available for you at very soon, hopefully by this evening, and get that out there.
So we welcome you to come out and listen to what's going on. I think you'll be pleased on what's going on. The collective efforts, number one, but number two is the shared enforcement efforts that truly we all need each other. And last but not least is the innovation that we're putting forward here in Cochise County.
And you're going to Washington, D.C. this weekend.
Yeah, I get back Saturday night from the girls wrestling sectionals, and then I leave at 3:30 in the morning, going to Washington, D.C., flying out Sunday, have meetings Monday morning at the National Sheriff Association level, and then I have a media roundtable at noon in D.C., and then I fly back that night. I have wrestling Tuesday, so I got to get back by Tuesday. So it's going to be a quick trip, but it's a good opportunity to exchange. I haven't been to Washington, D.C. in a while with everything been going on, but I'm looking forward to the trip.
And one of the things I think that probably will come up during that trip and with the people that you're meeting with are, again, the border information that you're going to be able to give out at these meetings next week, but also talking about Border Patrol agents being assaulted.
It is. I'm meeting with Chief Ortiz from Border Patrol. He'll be at one of the meetings I'm at. And that is a discussion we want to have is, and I put this out last Friday on the show, is, for people, citizens to be vigilant, call 911. Don't take this on yourself. But it is the propensity. We had a meeting this week with Border Patrol leadership, the police chiefs in the county, DPS captain, and myself and my staff met in a roundtable discussion about how we can work better in Cochise County. We do very, 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 very well. Plus, we have a very special relationship with all the leadership I just spoke about. So we'll talk about that, those meetings. But long story short is, we're concerned. There's not a chief out there, or my office, or the Border Patrol, or DPS, in regards to the smugglers, the violence they're showing toward law enforcement right now, or the lack of respect. And so we're very strong on that. And I'll be clear: if you assault a law enforcement officer in this county, you will go to jail. I promise you that. We're not going to put up with that. If you assault us, you harm us, whatever it is, you will go to jail. I can promise you.
Up in the north part of the county, we had a bear sighting near Wilcox.
We did.
The Bears are out.
The Bears are out.
Chicago Bears aren't, but the Bears are.
The Chicago Bears are out too, right?
Sorry. They're out. They're
in
out
a different way.
Yes, it's not a good way.
Yeah. So, old Yogi and Boo Boo are up there. What they're saying is that this bear in particular, they have a picture of it. Game and Fish are saying, we know it's out there. Please, please, please don't try to approach it. Don't try to feed it. It's out there. Just let it be. Just let's live harmoniously together. And just that tells you that the wildlife are coming down from the mountains, and you never can tell where they're going to end up. But specifically in this case, many people have seen it. Just stay away from it. Just leave it alone. It'll be fine.
It is. I mean, Yogi and Boo Boo they're cool. I mean, I get it. But they'll bite. I promise you. Stay away from them.
Also in the north of the county, there's going to be some prescribed burns.
There is.
It's going to be and it started earlier this week. So we just want to let everybody know you could see some smoke in the Benson area, Wilcox area, throughout the Sulphur Springs Valley. It even goes into Graham County. And they're just trying to get between 7,000 and 15,000 acres under control as far as, the mitigation, wildfire mitigation. So I want to make sure that everybody sees that, knows that it's a prescribed burn like the one on Fort Huachuca last week. You see smoke in this area and you get a little concerned. Absolutely understandable. So even if you don't know what it is, just call us. We'll try to help you out with that. But know that this particular haze smoke situation is prescribed burn.
And coming up next weekend, of course, the Super Bowl just around the corner. Your Bears didn't make it. I understand that.
Ouch.
But the DUI task force is going to be out. And you just were part of a new DUI class.
They did. There's Service to PD's hosting a DUI HGN, horizontal gaze nystagmus class, and standard field sobriety tests. And this is standardized training throughout the nation. It's standardized. So if you go to Illinois, the same test in Illinois is what you see in Arizona. But every class they have, we do a couple a year throughout the county. Every class they have, I always go speak to the various law enforcement officers and deputies and troopers that are at this class and just thank them. I think that confidence in the training is so important in our communities that besides the impaired driver, you also save community citizens from impaired drivers. So having that training is so important. So I was over there today, and I thank those officers and deputies and troopers for being in the training class, and because it's just another form of enforcement that we provide to our communities and keeping the DUI impaired driver off our community streets.
And you were mentioning the Super Bowl, so that's going to be a huge thing. And if you're into numbers like that, betting, whatnot, just remember Tuesday is coming on 222222. So we'll be throwing big shout outs there for anybody who can remember that. for all of the important time periods. So just as a fun little thing. Okay.
That's a lot of twos.
It's a whole bunch of twos.
On a Tuesday.
On a Tuesday.
Yes.
This next one will be.
Yes.
So we're looking forward to that.
We're going to put that as a good luck thing.
We are.
Yes.
We are. So
Good
if
luck,
you're going to
people.
buy a lottery ticket, the drawings are on Wednesdays, we're just going to encourage you to use all kinds of twos in that.
Exactly. And I want to give a quick shout out to our search and rescue team. Yesterday they were looking for a 94-year-old female that was distraught up in the eastern side of Bisbee, and within an hour, 2 hours, they found her. So kudos to search and rescue. And again, I call those second chances of life they provide when they go out there.
They're really good at what they do. And speaking of search and rescue, you know, there was Rick Eskew, who was one of the people who started the initial K-9 unit in the 80s. He recently passed away, so we're thinking about his family and loved ones.
God bless him. In fact, he actually kicked off the K-9 program within search and rescue. So God bless him and his family.
And also, you know, a sad situation with John Claiborne. For many of you, if you haven't heard of him, that's unfortunate because he was such an amazing person.
He really was. I worked the streets with him back in the 80s. And John was a competitor of life. I mean, truly, truly was. I mean, he dealt with some health issues the latter part of his life, and he conquered them. He just truly conquered them. And, of course, he passed away here last weekend, and my prayers and thoughts go out to his son John and Leanne, John's wife, and also to his wife Jerry. I mean, just beautiful family. And, John, thank you for your service to this community.
Do you have a stop of the week this week?
I do, and ironically, it was coming from the DUI class after I spoke over there. This car in front of me, coming down Martin Luther King, right there by Mister's and Olive Garden, well, light turns green. That car didn't want to go. It just stayed there. And that's a sign something's wrong when you don't go for the green light. Most times it's you're on your phone, which is, we all know, it's a violation. But finally the car goes, then stopped again. It went, stopped again, and then pulled on to 90, the bypass, pulled into Target, but then stopped right at the entrance and blocked the entrance. I mean, it's going very slow anyway. So we're in behind it, and there was a service police officer behind me. We both were blocked in traffic. Cars were coming at us, and we're like, oh, this looks bad. Car moved ahead about 5 feet, stopped again. So this went on several different times. I finally said, okay, something's wrong here. I hit the emergency lights, stopped. The elderly driver, it was a rental car, and long story short is she just was cited for another accident she was involved with, and I explained to her, this is all about when you stop a car like that, you're looking for, is there an impairment issue? Is there a dementia issue, a medical issue? What is it? And so in this case, we didn't let her drive beyond that. We gave her a ride home. Thanks to Service Police Department, they gave her a ride home. We parked the car right there. And I'll share this message with you. When you have, and I'm just going to say, the elderly people that shouldn't be driving anymore, it's one of the hardest things in the world when you take away their mobility. But it's real to the motoring public, because where she just had an accident, was cited for it, she was on a path for another accident. In fact, she made the comment to me that you cops just got to quit following me because you stopped me. And I explained to her the reason we stop you is you draw attention to us, and because you're really not safe. And it's hard to have those conversations because very nice lady, but unfortunately, yeah, we have to start the process on that, and because she should not be driving. So, yeah, I share that with people out there. We all have family members, and the last thing you want to do is take away their mobility, but that safety is so, so important.
Well, Sheriff Mark Daniels, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Grady, Carol, thank you again. I'll see you next Friday, and thank you, everybody. Have a safe week.
And Carol, who do we have coming in next?
We have the Sierra Vista Police Department Entourage. So we're starting out with Lily and Tim Wachtel from Sierra Vista Police Department, going to talk about a program that they have with teens. And then we have Scott Borgstadt coming in to talk about Better Bucks and everything else going on.
First Watch on KWCD Country is brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
It's First Watch Now.
Hosted by Public Information Officer Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
On 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative. I'm Grady Butler, and with me I've got our next guest from the Sierra Vista Police Department. It's Sergeant Wachtel. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Lily is here with us too. Lily Perry, good morning.
Good morning.
So you guys have a plan coming up for teens, and it's a program that they can sign up for. And tell us what this is about.
So it's called Teen Talks, and this is an initiative that we started. It's kind of a way for the department to be in touch with our younger population in the Sierra Vista area. We'd like to share some knowledge that might help keep our youth out of difficult or dangerous situations. Our first talk is going to be about internet safety and protecting yourself from online predators. And this kind of came about because last year the Sierra Vista Police Department took over 20 calls of child exploitation that involved transfer of illicit child files over the internet. And all of those resulted in convictions. In 2020, we had 2 task force that conducted operations that resulted in 23 arrests and convictions involving adults from the local area and also as far away from Phoenix coming to meet and perform sexual acts with what they thought were minors in Sierra Vista. So we decided that it would be a good idea for us to share some of this experience and knowledge and provide the teens with not only information to avoid these situations, but also maybe hopefully empower them to report if they do find themselves in a situation where it might be going in that direction.
And who do you want to come to this class?
So our target audience is going to be middle and high school aged students from Cochise County.
And is there a cost to this event?
No, it's free. We encourage parents to come with the students. We'll be providing light refreshments. It'll be a 2-hour class that'll involve some videos. We have our detectives, Detective Ransford and Corporal Nicola will be kind of leading the class, and after each video we'll have some back and forth discussion and kind of an open forum.
And this is targeted for teens to be able to learn, but the parents need to learn too, because sometimes your kids being online can be scary, so parents can attend this as well.
Absolutely. We'd actually encourage parents to attend. There's going to be good information for everyone.
And when and where is this going to be?
So our first class is going to be Wednesday, February 16th from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Sierra Vista Police Department on Coronado Drive in the auditorium.
And then you might do future ones depending on how this one goes.
Yes, so if we have a good response to this class, we'd like to do maybe every couple months have one class covering different topics, possibly including distracted driving, drug and alcohol awareness, personal safety, different things like that.
All great topics. Yeah, that sounds like it'll be great. So do you have like more information they can find online about this class?
Yes, so our Facebook page, Sierra Vista Police, Fire, and EMS, there's actually an event there that has all the information. They don't have to respond to that event. We do ask them to register for the class just so that, because we're going to have limited seating and it's a first come first served basis. So if you go to the City of Sierra Vista's website and search Teen Talks, it'll take you to a page where there's like a real simple form for either parents or students to fill out and submit to let us know that they're going to be there.
All right, dates and times one more time.
So it's Wednesday, February 16th. From 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Sierra Vista Police Department auditorium.
All right. And Sergeant Wachtel is also in the studio because the Sierra Vista Police Department is, you're hiring right now.
We are. Just like every other agency nearby in the state, we are shorthanded, so we are hiring. So basically, if you are one of those individuals in the community who has always wanted to pursue the law enforcement career, now would be the time to come talk to us. Feel free to come down to the station, either talk to me or talk to Lily. We can get you started. But again, we're currently 8 positions down, and we have quite a few retirements coming up here in the next couple of years. But so again, if you're interested, now's the time. Come talk to us, and we'll get you started.
What are the requirements to be a Sierra Vista police officer?
So there's some state requirements, and then we have some specific requirements to the department. You have to be 21 years old by the time you graduate from the academy, a U.S. citizen. There's obviously some background. You have to have a clean background. Prior drug use parameters are set by the state. And then at the department here in Sierra Vista, we also have a requirement of a minimum 30 college credits. And there's other requirements that are listed on the actual job posting.
And I want to remind everybody that the police academy is actually right here in Cochise County.
Yes, so we work very closely with Cochise County Sheriff's Department and the Cochise College running the Southeast Arizona Law Enforcement Training Academy, and that's at the campus in Douglas. And it's been working out really well for us. They have 2 academies a year. One starts in July and one starts in January. So we actually have 5 officers that are in training out on the road right now. They just graduated in November. And then we currently have 2 recruits that are in the academy that just started last month. A lot of our officers and staff do instruction at the academy as well as Cochise County Sheriff's Department. And that's nice because we get to be really involved with our recruits during the whole length of the academy.
And when you get into the department at the Sierra Vista Police Department, what are some of the opportunities inside?
So basically, when you come on board, we'll send you to the academy. You know, obviously you'll come back, and then one of our requirements is that you spend 2 years on patrol. Once you spend 2 years on patrol, you get the experience, and then you can have the opportunity to move around within our department. A couple other opportunities includes to be a detective in our bureau. You can be on the SWAT team. You can be a school resource officer. Another position is the general instructor. Once you're a general instructor, you can pick which area you want to instruct. It could be driving training, it could be physical fitness, you name it. But normally we ask the officer to start obviously 2 years on patrol, get experience and everything. Once you have 2 years on, then when other opportunities open, feel free to apply for them. And again, if you're one of those individuals out there seeking the law enforcement career and just want to talk to anybody, feel free to come down and talk to us, and we'll get you started.
And you mentioned that you can stop by the station there to apply, but you also have an email address and a phone number that we can call as well.
Right. So if you email svpdjobs@sierravistaaz.gov, that'll come right to my inbox, and I can get you all the information you need, or call me at 520-439-2370.
All right, well, let's talk about some scholarships you guys coming up, which is also a way to kind of home-growing some officers.
Absolutely. So, we're very invested in the future officers who are currently students. So our local Fraternal Order of Police, the Huachuca Lodge 28, has a scholarship available to high school students who are going to be entering college studying criminal justice. It's $2,000, and the application's fairly simple. I think it involves 2 essays and some references. That's available the easiest way to get to the website would be to Google FOP 28. It should bring you to Huachuca Lodge 28, and under the About tab, that's all the information about the scholarship, and then you can download the application there.
All right, so let's kind of give an overview of everything we talked about today. You've got that class coming up for teens and parents next week. Give us the dates, locations, and it's free.
Yes, that's going to be Wednesday, February 16th from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Sierra Vista PD Auditorium. We're going to be providing snacks and drinks. It should be a good 2-hour, very informational class and discussion forum covering internet safety and protecting yourself from online predators. We encourage middle and high school age students to attend with their parents if they want to, and they can Google Sierra Vista, City of Sierra Vista's website, search for Teen Talks, and fill out a quick registration form just to let me know that they're going to be there. And
an overview of you are hiring. You can go apply at the department, or how else can they apply?
Same thing. You also Google the City of Sierra Vista, and obviously click on the police department, and you can apply that way. Or feel free, if you want to actually talk to somebody in person, feel free to come down to the station at 911 North Coronado, and we'll be more than happy to talk to you in person. So there's several ways. Again, if you're interested in law enforcement, now's the time to come work for us.
And if students want to go for that scholarship, what do they Google to find that application?
Google FOP 28. That'll take you to Huachuca Lodge 28, Fraternal Order of Police. Under About, you're going to see the link for the scholarship, and download the scholarship. There's $2,000 out there available for a student.
Well, Lily and Tim, we thank you for coming and talking to us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
First Watch on KWCD Country, brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
It's First Watch Now.
Hosted by Public Information Officer Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
On 92.3 KWCD.
And it's brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative, giving you an inside look into your sheriff's office. I'm Grady Butler, and with me in the studio now from the Sierra Vista Police Department, it's Scott Borkstack.
Good morning.
And Jay Matchett. Good morning.
Good morning.
And Jay, who are you with?
I'm with the Cochise Housing Connection.
All right, so Scott, you've got an event coming up that you want to talk about.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we've been actually working on this event for quite a while, and Jay with the Cochise Housing Connection has stepped in to kind of facilitate managing and running this program for us. But the great thing is, what we're going to do is bring together about 30 different service agencies to help folks out with things like housing, food, shelter, mental health, physical health, veteran services, bring them all into one location so folks can come in, register, and then we can direct them to the services that they need. They don't have to go all over Sierra Vista or all over Cochise County to find the help that they need.
And how are you helping out with this event?
Well, it's good to be here. I've been asked to kind of step in and facilitate, coordinate this event. There's a lot of moving parts, over 30 agencies, like Scott said, and necessity giveaway, and we're going to have a community meal too. So I've been busy and talking with these agencies, trying to figure out how we can get as many of them in the room as possible and deliver a nice community event where folks can really get a good understanding of all the services that are already here.
And who will you be targeting for attendees at this event?
Well, pretty much anybody in need in Sierra Vista. I mean, we know that there's a homeless population. They're definitely one of the target audiences that we want to address. But anybody that is in need of some type of services. That's the thing. There's a lot of different agencies in the area, but folks just don't know where to go to get that help. And we're hoping that this type of event, bringing everyone together, will help direct people and get them to the services that they need.
And when and where is this event going to be?
Good question. It's going to be March 1st. We're holding it at the Ethel Berger Center, which is at 2950 East Tacoma, and it's going to be held from 11 a.m. till 3 p.m. on March 1st. And as Jay was saying, we're going to provide a meal for folks. We're not quite sure what kind, but, whether it's pizza or a bag lunch or something like that, we're still working those details out. But we're going to have, some things to give away, like Jay said, some things for necessities to help out, and Better Bucks. So come on in, register, and we'll give you some Better Bucks just for attending.
Let's talk about the Better Bucks program for a moment. That's been going on as a pilot program in Sierra Vista for several months now?
Actually, yeah, 3 months. We started in October of 2021. So the first quarter, we just closed out the books on that in January. Grady, it's been an unbelievable success.
Awesome.
It really has. We've sold over 1,500 books in that first quarter. We've paid out over $1,500 to the merchants where folks go and take these Better Bucks. Just for example, it's pretty interesting. Like Fry's Food Store is one of the places that accepts Better Bucks. In November, we paid them $80 basically. I'm sorry, in October we paid them $80. In November, that went up to $188. And in December, we wrote them a check for $394. For a total of just 3 months, over $660 just to Fry's Food Store from folks bringing in and using the Better Bucks.
So they're getting used as well, which
they're
is
getting
great.
used. Yeah. Yes, they are. And big announcement, we've added a new merchant starting in January. The McDonald's of Sierra Vista at the Fry location on Fry Boulevard and out by Canyon de Flores, they are now participating in the Better Bucks program. So if someone gets Better Bucks, they can take them to McDonald's and get themselves a meal.
And let's remind people who may not know what Better Bucks is, how to get them, and kind of what the program is overall.
Well, Better Bucks was designed for folks to purchase the booklet and then give them out to someone that they feel is in need. We've had a lot of churches purchase them and pass them out. Individuals will come in and buy them. We had one individual purchase 60 books and donated them directly to the Salvation Army. And that's one of the things that honestly we really need some help with. These service agencies that are listed in the books, they're the ones that really know who's in need. And the service agencies use these books to help folks by, saying, hey, come on and, and fill out some paperwork and we'll give you some better bucks for doing that. Make sure you make this appointment. We'll give you some better bucks for doing that. It kind of entices folks to continue with services because they're getting a benefit from it. But what we really need is for people or organizations that are interested in purchasing better bucks to designate one of those service agencies as a recipient. So if someone comes in and buys, hey, I want to buy 10 better bucks, and I want them to go to Good Neighbor Alliance or the Salvation Army or any one of those service agencies listed in our books. We really need that kind of help.
And also, this is a chance to give money to someone who's standing on a corner. Instead of giving them cash and wondering where that might go, you can give them better bucks.
That's exactly right. That's the basic concept of it. They can't use it to purchase alcohol, tobacco, or anything that isn't used in conjunction with illegal drug activity. So you know that your gift is going towards something beneficial. Speaking of a side note on this, a benefit, I guess, Goodwill Industries is one of the participating merchants. Folks can go in there and buy, clothing, that type of stuff. Goodwill Industries reported to us for last month that their shoplifting is down 90%. And about 46% of all their customers that come in are using better bucks.
Wow.
So that's kind of a side benefit we had no idea was out there. Folks now have a way of paying for the items that they need, and they're doing that as opposed to shoplifting. So what a great concept.
Where can we buy better bucks if we want to help out?
Okay, they can be purchased at the Sierra Vista Police Department. They can go to City Hall or the library, or they can go on the Better Bucks of Sierra Vista website or Facebook page and purchase them that way.
All right. And Jay, what does your organization do outside of the event that's coming up?
Well, we're a new organization. We were just incorporated and got our 501c3 in October, but we focus on connecting folks with housing, as our name suggests. We do that in a variety of ways, but right now we're focused on housing counseling and getting folks into the homeless information management system. We're in the process of being licensed. Like I said, we just got an office space in Bisbee where we're going to be having a day center, and we're getting that staffed as we speak. So we're moving quickly, and we are excited to have this partnership with the City of Sierra Vista because it is an opportunity for us to really connect with all the agencies and work together, and we're excited to do that, especially as a new nonprofit.
Is there something that the community can do to help your organization?
Well, we're always looking for help in the terms of volunteers or people that want to get involved. We have like this big event coming up. We're looking for volunteers. We want to have some volunteers to work in our day center, and we're always in need of financial support. So if people want to make a donation, we're a 501c3, so it's entirely tax deductible in kind as well. So those are the main ways I think right now that we're looking.
And how can they get a hold of you to do that?
Well, they can contact me directly. We have a number. It's 520-422-7555, or they can email me at contact@cocheshousingconnection, all one word, .org.
All right, and Scott, before you go, remind us one more time about the event coming up.
Oh, thank you, Grady. It's going to be March 1st from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Ethel Berger Center, and that's located at 2950 East Tacoma Street here in Sierra Vista.
Well, thanks for coming and talking to us today.
Thanks, Grady.
KWCD Country, it's First Watch, brought to you by Sulphur Springs Valley Electric Cooperative.
You've been listening to First Watch with the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Hosted by Cochise County Public Information Officers Carol Kappas and Grady Butler.
Join us again next Friday morning, 7 to 8 a.m.
First Watch.
What you need to know from the Cochise County Sheriff's Office.
Only on 92.3 KWCD.